What is up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are unboxing the new Batman along with the Batsignal and the Batcycle made by Hot Toys. For obvious reasons, this one is gotta be one of the most anticipated Hot Toys figure of the year, if not the most anticipated one. I know that many of you are eager to know about the quality of this figure, and to be very honest, the quality of this Batman is way beyond my personal expectation. So, right now, let's dive into it. But before the review starts, let's check out the figure and all the accessories first. This Batman was available for pre-order in 3 versions: the Standard Edition, Deluxe Edition, and a Combo Edition which includes the Batsignal. The official prices on Sideshow were $300, $375, and $515 US. The Deluxe Edition has everything the Standard Edition has, and with one additional glide suit, aka wingsuit, one LED diorama base, and one backdrop. The Combo Edition has the Batsignal and everything I just mentioned. The one I have right here is the Combo Edition. Firstly, let's talk about the packaging. The box for the Combo Edition is quite large with a great thickness. It is in this rectangular shape which is commonly used for Deluxe Edition products. The main color on the box follows the red and black colors we have seen on the movie posters. And because this one comes with the Batsignal, on the front, the Batman and the Batsignal each takes half of the space. And the edition info is also labeled on this outer cardboard. Now let's dig into the inner box. At the top, we have got some additional hands and all the accessories, along with the parts of the diorama base. Inside on the left, we have got the main figure, additional expressions, neck collar, empty helmet, head sculpt, and one extra hairstyle. On the right, there's the Batsignal and stairs. At the bottom, there's the backdrop and one additional cape. This cape is stick to the inside of the box, so don't forget to grab that too. We will talk about the difference between these two capes in the later part of this video. This new Batman is around 31 cm in height, and here is a quick comparison with other Hot Toys Batmans. One thing that this Batman amazes me the most is that it doesn't have that bulky arms problem at all. This overall appearance of the arms and torsos are super natural in appearance. It is always difficult for superhero characters, especially those that wear these armory kind of outfits, to have such an appearance. But this figure was able to make it happen. There's no need for additional adjustments or stripping off all the clothes to modify the body. The default condition is already more than perfect. If you remove the belt, the arm and torso can almost touch each other. That's how well it is. Next, let's take a look at the armors. Unlike the TDK and BVS version batsuits with complex rubberized materials, this suit has a relatively simple costume design, with most parts made from fabric, similar to the Adam West version. The texture of this material and these popped-up paddings on the upper body feels very similar to the Captain America's belly part. The shoulder armors, chest armor, forearm guards, leg guards, and all the small accessories on the utility belts are all made from resin material. They are attached using Velcro. If you want to make some minor position adjustments, it can be very easily done. The design of the new Batman costume may appear a bit simple, but it is very rich in details. Firstly, the costume is formed with several kinds of fabrics. For instance, the arms features 2 different colors and materials on the outer and inner sides, while the torso has another kind. If you look at the shoulder areas, you will know what I'm talking about. The outer side of the pants even has 4 different materials, each with different patterns and colors. The back area has a similar design like the pants, but with 2 more zippers right here. Visually, the costume's details are insane. Another unique feature of the new Batman costume is it has a lot of these elastic cords. This element is present on the forearms, along the sides of the legs, and on the back. Taking the back as an example, each of these X-shaped crosses is composed of 2 independent elastic cords, and overall there are about 50 sets of this design through the entire costume. Another special feature is the stitching details on the fabrics. For example, these stitchings are all over the paddings, especially on the belly part. They have tightened the edges of these popped-up paddings and made the shape look even more 3-dimensional. And also, Hot Toys have added a layer of paint job on the edges to give this costume a worn-off look. Next, let's take a look at the armors of the suit. Firstly, the neck piece is made of resin material. It is not too hard, not too soft. The surface mimics the texture of leather with these super fine details and fake stitching lines. This part is also connected to the body with Velcro. The shoulder armors have a really nice metallic look surface with these added weathering details. It will make you feel these things are quite heavy, but actually they're not. There are small straps and mesh-like patterns on the surface. The making of these tiny details is very sharp and clear. The forearm armors also have a good surface detailing, including the yellow fabric and straps. They were made as one piece, but the 3-dimensional look and layering are quite in place. The forearm guards are my favorite among all the armor pieces. While the accessory is mostly made as one piece, the great details and different paint colors give them a very complex and appealing appearance. These blades are soft, so you don't need to worry about them breaking this time. The forearm guards consist of 2 independent parts, the grapple gun on the inner side, and these arrows on the outer side. Each arrow is individually made, but they are fixed in place and cannot be moved. The grapple guns are very nicely made. All the details on the surface are sharp and clear. You can see everything. And the little orange spot and battle damage paint jobs are also on point. This accessory is attached to the forearm through a plug-in, allowing for switching parts. The chest armor is a bit special because it is made from hard plastic. It doesn't have any flexibilities. However, these 2 straps are still made soft. The surface of the chest armor features dot patterns that can be felt with your fingers. Additionally, the rust-colored paint along all the edges provides a super realistic metallic appearance. One of the coolest things about the new Batman suit is the Bat logo on the chest is also a batarang. The figure also restored this design, and the batarang sticks to the suit using strong magnets. To take it off, it's best to use this little tool, which is included in the figure. To remove it, just slide it down from the top. Once it's off, you will notice that the inside has a metal-like finish with some weathering effects as well. It gives a really nice touch to the whole look. The batarang is made of metal, and the details on the surface and weathered effects look very impressive. And these little orange spots are also nicely done. The belt is connected to the body with several velcros. To detach it, you will need to unzip them and undo the buckle that connects it to the holster. There are quite a few components on the belt. The ones marked in red are fixed and cannot be moved, while these in green can be moved and detached from the belt. And these two pouches can actually be opened. Each small part has a unique surface texture, and Hot Toys has also restored the patterns on the belt as well. The central buckle on the belt is made in one piece and painted with several different colors. The details are pretty nice. And this ammo is also well crafted, making it the most unique looking part of the belt. As the pants are designed to be worn over the top, adjusting the outfit will be easier if you remove the belt first. The holster is attached to the leg using two straps and one buckle. It also has a Velcro, which can be unzipped for putting the pistol inside. The boots have two parts, the shin guards and the shoes. Both have a super realistic leather-like texture with impressive detailing in terms of the uneven surfaces. The shoelace and rivets are all painted separately as well. The cape is made from a thin, water-resistant kind of material. It has a glossy, leather-like appearance in black. It also has this very nicely painted, weathered with mud stain on both the outer and inner layers. It looks especially good from the outside. In terms of the length, it is shorter than the TDK and BVS versions. The lowest point reaches below the knees. There are internal wires on both sides and in the center. You can make the cape in some different shapes with them. To remove the cape, first you need to take off the head sculpt and chest armor. Undo the Velcro, and then detach the cape, and that's it. The other cape I mentioned earlier is intended for use when Batman is riding the Batcycle. The shape and length of these two capes are a bit different, but both have weathering and mud stain effects. The second cape includes 5 internal wires, 2 more than the default cape, enhancing its flexibility for more dynamic poses. However, due to the double-layered fabric, it is thicker than the default cape. But you won't really notice it when the Batman is riding the bike. The wires provide strong supports, and in this section, Hot Toys has added hidden magnets for a seamless and more fitting appearance. The details on this figure this time is really impressive. About the hands, they are in pure black and with this tactical gloves appearance. There is a slight difference in design on the back of each hand, with the left hand having this additional little element. The silver details on the index and middle fingers are accurately replicated. They are the zappers we saw in the early part of the film. And comparing them to the prop costume, these little things do exist. Now let's take a look at these two head sculpts. The head with mask features an impressive leather-like texture on the surface of the cowl. The texture, fixed stitching, and weathering effects enhance the overall realism. The visible cuts and scars on the surface have excellent depth and different in shapes. I love this head, and this might be the best Batman head by far. But be careful, the ears are still sharp and thin this time. You don't want them to hit anything solid. Same as the TDK version, the head sculpt uses a magnetic attachment method. The magnet is pretty strong for holding the head. The eye sockets are separate pieces, creating a good sense of layering for the head. This Batman came with separate rolling eyeballs. To adjust them, it's recommended to use this little tool to do so. In terms of the expressions, the default expression is a calm one. The sculpt captured Pattinson's thin lip and his slight downturned chin very accurately. Since the mask does not cover the nose, the expressions include half of the nose as well. The sparse stubble and the 2 moles on his face are all nicely restored with great details. Next, let's check out these 2 extra expressions. One looks like he's talking, and the other one is him angry. The cool thing here is Hot Toys made the teeth as separate parts and added a layer of shiny paint on the surface to make them look a bit wet, which looks very realistic. The expressions are connected with magnets as well, and they even added some paddings right here for protection. Now onto the big deal, the Bruce Wayne head sculpt. This head sculpt had an upgrade during the production period. Looking at the official images, the difference before and after the modification is quite noticeable. Instead of me giving a detailed critique this time, let's just take a moment, spend a few seconds, and enjoy this head a little. But I still just want to say, this head is amazing. In addition to the enhancement of the facial features, Hot Toys also included an additional messy styled hairpiece. The accessory is attached magnetically as well. So again, let's take a few seconds to observe the head sculpt from all angles. This head also has rolling eyeballs. You can adjust them by removing the back part of the hair. Personally, I prefer this hairstyle, and with the rolling eyeballs, you can make some super badass expressions with this head. The smoky makeup around the eyes is very nicely done, with well-balanced color depth, and there are a bit of tear lines on both sides if you look closely. And here is a brief comparison of the size of this head sculpt with the previous Batman figures. To install the Bruce Wayne head, first remove this head and neck piece. Insert the neck collar into the slot. And finally attach the head sculpt. It's better to push the neck collar as far down as possible to avoid any issues with the neck looking too short. Another accessory that can be used on the figure body is the empty helmet. This is an additional accessory Hot Toys added after the pre-order. The making of this thing is same as the head with mask. It can be put onto the figure to replicate the display of the suit or held in hand. Now let's take a look at the accessories. In terms of the hands, the default hands have a relaxed pose. The additional ones include a pair of fists, a pair of gripping hands, a pair of hand pulling the triggers, and one open palm hand. About the weapons, there are two additional batarangs. Like the one on the chest armor, these are made of full metals as well. The one from the chest has a curved design, and the other two, one is straightened, and the other one is in this half-folded shape. None of these three batarangs have additional folding capabilities. Then there are two expanded grapple guns. They are same as the ones from the forearm armors, but longer. For installation, you can just plug them on the armors. Pretty simple. There are two slots in the front of the guns, allowing for attachment of these two types of grappling hooks. The making of these hooks are very nice, with a lot of small details. This long cable is hard, so do not bend it. The sticky bomb pistol is divided into three parts: the gun, the ammo, and a piece that can be attached to the muzzle. The making of the gun with these hollowed out sections is very nicely made. The ammo has the same shape as the one on the belt. It can be inserted into the gun. Once attached, the parts fit seamlessly together. To remove it, you can also use this little tool. Push here and get it out. This small accessory can be placed directly at the muzzle. The pistol can be held or inserted into the holster. The UV light and flare are pretty straightforward. There is nothing too special about them, and they can be placed into the pockets on the belt. These two adrenaline shots have hollowed out section on the top as well, and can also be put into these little bags here. The handcuffs are made with plastic. They came in this metallic silver color and has these black pads on the surface. And besides the handcuffs being able to open, the middle section is also connected through an independent joint, allowing for different folding angles. The screw holes and jagged-shaped details are also very well made. The final small accessory is the first envelope left by the Riddler. The accessory consists of an envelope and a card. The printing quality is very good. You can read everything, even the barcodes on the back. And the card can be inserted into the envelope, just like in the movie. The wingsuit is quite large, and its material is similar to the raincoats we usually wear, being very thin, similar to the cape. The surface, like the Batsuit, also has a lot of these stitchings. Other details include nylon straps, metal buckles, yellow ropes, and 2 real little pockets. When putting the suit on, you can unzip this zipper on your left-hand side. Slide the figure in. Then close it up. And that's it. Pretty simple and straightforward. There are many zippers on the suit, and they all can be unzipped. However, I recommend to not unzip them unless it's necessary. As these parts are relatively small, false handling could cause damages to the suit. The design of the wingsuit is unlike anything we have seen from Batman before, and somehow I think Bruce was inspired by the patient's uniform from Arkham Asylum. Now let's take a look at the stands. Besides the diorama base, the Deluxe and Combo Edition also comes with a standard base. The base has a rectangular shape, with the logo of the new Batman and the title of the movie on the nameplate. The top surface of the base comes with a tile pattern. And there are 2 more patterns you can switch. One is this picture with fire, and the other one has an artistic red and black color. Similar to the Star Wars figure, you can simply place them on top and attach the support to complete the setup. The diorama base has 4 parts and 3 different ways to display. Let's go through them one by one. The first one is the simplest. Insert the steps into the lower slot of the statue part, then attach the railing and decorative accessory on both sides, and that's it. The second one involves inserting the stairs into the upper slot of the statue part, place the standard base underneath and then add the side accessories. For the third one, which is also the longest one, remove the nameplate from the standard base, attach the parts on either side of the stairs, and then position the standard base in the middle of these 2 parts. And that's it. The surface texture and paint work on the diorama base are impressive, especially on the statue part, where the paints create a strong sense of depth. The railing features realistic metal and weathering effects. The overall size of this thing, different ways of displaying, definitely made it more fun to play along with the figure. The front steps have a light-up function that requires a C-type power cord. The plug is located on the side of the base. Once connected and switch is turned on, the red areas will light up. The brightness is pretty nice too. If you have enough display space, you can place the backdrop with the fire image behind the figure, further enhancing the overall visual appeal of this figure. The backdrop's image will change a little if you see it from different angles. Finally, let's take a look at the articulation of the figure. The head has a range of about 30 degrees for tilting up, down, and tilting to the sides. It can rotate almost 90 degrees to the sides. The mobility of the Bruce Wayne head is limited because of the neck collar, and the head and neck came as one piece. There isn't much room to move the head around. The arms can be raised to about 80 degrees in front, sides, and behind. The outfit barely affected the arms, which is a very impressive design. The forearms can bend slightly beyond 90 degrees. This time, the biceps have crazy rotating ability. They can almost be turned 360. Forward bending at the waist is around 30 degrees, while backward and lateral movements have quite small ranges. The legs can achieve nearly 90 degrees in front kicks, around 60 degrees in side kicks, and approximately 30 degrees in backward kick. The lower legs can bend up to 120 degrees. The ankle joints have a very good mobility in all directions, especially the ability to tilt the feet inward and outward, making it a highly articulated figure, particularly among characters wearing boots. Alright, that concludes the main figure and accessories. Now let's take a look at the Batcycle. The dimensions of the Batcycle are slightly larger than the TDK version, with a weight of around 805 grams compared to the 690 grams of the TDK version. Taking the light out of the box, the default orientation is facing upward. The light can only move in a single direction, and it no longer has the gear position like the TDK version. Now you can smoothly adjust the angles. But be careful to not push the light too low because it might break this horizontal bar right here. Other movable parts of the Batcycle are the handles, which can be pulled back and forth. To complete the full look, you need to attach the two wheels to the sides of the light. The surface of the Batcycle has a completely matte texture, providing a super rough feel. Combined with the rust color paint, visually it creates a strong sense of heavy metal. The high sharpness of the details like the rust, gears, and screw holes all look very nice. Even the tiniest details don't look blurry at all. Since the bat symbol is made with these broken folds, the edges of the symbol are uneven, with some sections featuring curled details. The overall effect is very impressive, but it's important to note that these folds do not have any movable capabilities, so be careful when you are handling this part. As for the light up feature, it follows the same method as the base, which takes a C-type cord. The light color is in white and the brightness is great. The bat logo looks very nice in dark environments. Lastly, let's take a look at this brand new Batcycle. This is another Batman vehicle released by Hot Toys after so many years. The packaging is quite large, and along with the figure packaging, the shipping fee will definitely hurt a bit more this time. The color of the box is pretty simple, with black as the main color along with a large official image of the bike. Inside we have the Batcycle, two mirrors, and two transparent stands. The length of the Batcycle is around 42 centimeters, considerably shorter than the 59 centimeters of the TDK version. However, the design is more of a traditional motorcycle style. Collectors who enjoy riding motorcycles in real life will probably find this version more appealing. Firstly, let's talk about the areas that you need to be careful with. The handlebars, brakes, footrests. These protruding parts are made of plastic and have very thin connection joints. It's very important to avoid hitting them with any hard objects, as they can break very easily. When storing it back to the box, make sure the vehicle is completely placed in the slot before closing the cap. The same care should be taken when attaching these two mirrors. To install them, simply insert them into the holes on the outer side of the handlebars, and that's it. The majority of the vehicle body is finished in a matte black texture. The overall design is composed of several main parts, include the fuel tank, seat, frame, handlebars, engine, and the tires. Areas like the handlebars and engines are made with many smaller components. Visually, the overall complexity is very impressive, and is quite challenging to describe in words. I'll do my best to capture clear images for you and you can see it for yourself. Details such as the patterns on the brake pads, the metallic texture on the engine surface, and the small details on the pipelines are well executed and finely made, creating a strong sense of three-dimensional effect. The surface of the pipe also look like they have been burned by super high temperatures. There are real cables between the handlebars and the wheels, and the handlebars can be moved left and right. The tires made of soft rubbers like the TDK version, and on the surface there are super realistic mud and stain effects. Hot Toys has added springs in the body to simulate shock absorption, giving it a damping effect when pressing down the bike. However, do not press it too hard. The Batcycle also has a lighting function with two ways to turn on. One is using a C-type cable, and the other is using 3 AAA batteries. Both the cable and batteries are not included. The battery compartment is concealed at the bottom of the vehicle. Unscrew this and you can put the batteries in. The plug-in hole and switches are also here. When the lights are turned on, both front and back lights will light up. The front light has a warm yellow color, while the back light is in red. Although the brightness is not extremely high, they work very well as ambient lights. Hot Toys has also included 2 types of stands, both featuring the movie logo on the surface. One is a flat top, allows the bike to stand in an upright position as if it's in motion. It can be put under this bar located in front of the rear wheel. The other stand allowing the motorcycle to be displayed in a parked position. Now let's take a look at how to make the figure ride this bike. Because the figure has an excellent articulation, it's possible to achieve a natural riding pose, but it requires some patience and time to adjust each angle to perfection. Here, I'll share my step-by-step process. First, you want to remove the 2 little pouches from the belt, because they can be obstructive when tilting the upper body. Next, post the legs of the figure in a sitting position. Lift the arms and roughly position the figure in a riding pose. Then seat the figure on the bike. Lean the body forward and adjust the position of the hip and feet. Once you feel the pose is close, grab the handlebars with the hands. It's better to do this step at the last to minimize the risk of breaking the handlebars while adjusting the body. Finally, make minor adjustments to the overall posture. And with this specially designed cape for riding the bike, the overall appearance is super cool. Alright, here we are. We have covered the figure, the Batcycle, and the Batsignal. Overall, this new Batman being one of the most anticipated products of the year, it meets and even exceeds my personal expectation. Aspects like the fitting and articulation of the arms surpass what I expected. The highly anticipated head sculpt also live up to the expectation. With so many weapons having independent articulation, the Batsignal and the brand new vehicle, this Batman figure is definitely a great product to conclude the year 2023. Alright, there you have it, the new Batman from Hot Toys. I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.